Hello, everyone, and welcome to Badass Us. That's right, that's who we are, Badass Us, here on Vision and Purpose Media Productions. And tonight, again, we have another good one for you. Actually, this is our third season starting tonight. And who are we? We are Badass Us, women. We are beautiful, accomplished, and divine. Our gentlemen are brothers, accomplished, and determined. Yet, as society see us, we must still change the narrative. That's right, that's who we are, Badass Us. That's right, here on Vision and Purpose Media Productions. We'll be right back at you right after this break.
Hello, my name is Tania McQueen. I'm the Residential Services Manager for Prestige Community Resources.
What our new facilities are respite centers. We're opening 2 in the city right now. Hopefully we'll expand to more. But respite centers are a place where people can come and get a little additional support with their mental health. Our one on Eastern Avenue is for men, and our one on Minnesota Avenue is for women. Our facilities are for all DC residents, especially focusing in on those in Ward 7 and 8. So they're really nice, and I'm excited for consumers to actually see them. What are the services that we're going to provide? Therapy, case management, medication management, all provided by professional staff, a licensed nurse practitioner, psychiatrists, sociologists, social workers, and then our paraprofessionals, our case managers. It's just a place where you can come and get the supports that you need to work on your personal goals, as well as to get your mental health straight. Simple, single adult, 18 years of age or older, a DC resident. You need to have insurance, but if you don't have it, it's okay. Still come, we'll work on getting you insurance. Have to have a negative COVID test, a negative TB test, and be willing to work on your mental health. For more information about respite services, you can contact us at 202-796-5000 or hit us up on our website at www.prestigecommunityresources.org.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Badass Us. That's right, that's who we are, Badass Us, here on Vision and Purpose Media Productions. And we are now into our third season, and I must introduce our co-host, Mr. Lee. Ooh. So just real quick, this is our third season. We just started up, coming back from the summer break. It's just been so nice, and if I can just share that Mr. Lee actually started out just coming on being a guest last season, and it was so great reviews that everyone then just said Mr. Lee have to be part of the team. So every fourth Tuesday of the month is Family Matters Health and Wellness, but with a little taste of Mr. Lee's happy hour. So welcome back, Mr. Lee. Mr. Lee and his happy hour.
Yeah.
What's going on in the happy hour?
It is very nice to be back, Karen. Welcome, and welcome all of you all that are joining us this evening. I'd like to introduce myself by letting you know that my name is Lee Manley, and I have this show called Lee's Happy Hour, and my theme is that I'm happy to bring you conversation and information that might be of some help to you or someone that you know and or care about. I've missed Karen the whole summer as well, and we just communication, all of that kind of stuff. But the fall is here, and we're back, and that's really all that matters.
Yes, and that's true. You know, I'm looking forward to the fall just because I know I'm going to have my Mr. Lee back. So yes. So, but you know, how was your summer though?
For the most part, it went rather uneventful. You know, I did a little traveling, still getting my treatment for my medical condition, but my health overall is pretty good. So if I had to grade it from 1 to 10, I'd say it was a 12.
Oh, right.
The Lord has blessed me to be alive and relatively healthy and have good people in my life like you, and I can't imagine much more anybody could want.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Lee.
Yeah.
See, this is why I'm
Because
happy.
you know we go back a while.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
Not like we just started.
No, and you know what? And it's a talk show that's out, And every time they play the song Lovely Day, they end, when I catch it, it's always at the end, and they always end with Lovely Day. And I always think of my Mr. Lee.
Yes.
So we got to, let's just give a little history again if you want to.
Okay.
You mind sharing?
Okay. I'm guessing 12, 15 years ago now,
Yes, yes.
there was a young man that started a internet radio show station. I believe it was called rocktheflow.com.
Yeah.
And I met him through some other folk and eventually worked out a deal where I had my own show. I was first co-hosting with a gentleman, and then he died, and then I got an opportunity to create my own show as well as produce it. I couldn't think of, well, what do I want to call this? And I came up with Lee's Happy Hour. And that's because I have an opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, through my life's experience and my training, to kind of share information that I hope would be helpful. But I think the bigger part is that at that time, the listening audience had an opportunity to engage us in conversation. And because it was internet, I would get information and requests and inquiries from all over the world. And that made it a lot more exciting. And I did that. I don't know what I do. Let me tell you this part real quick. There were, I think, maybe 11 of us that were on-air hosts, and Karen and her crew. They were.
Yes, it was a crew.
Yeah, it was a group of them.
Yes.
They followed me, right?
Yes,
right,
we
right.
came on after
I was,
you. Yes.
This is on Saturday mornings. I think I had 9 to 10,
Yeah, it was 10. You had 10 to 11.
10 to 11.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and I did then what we're going to do this evening, and that is to establish some topics that we think are important to you, our viewing and listening audience,
Yes.
and exchange some information, not to be right, but to be helpful, to be informative. So whatever it is that you might have thought or missed, you have an opportunity this evening to be with us, and we're really glad you're here.
Yes, we are, Mr. Lee, and that's when we had started to, again, it happened to be the end of the summer,
Yeah.
and I was doing a spin-off show from Sister for Sister Network. Peggy Morris had introduced me to the internet radio show, and we were spinning off for Sister Saturday at that time, and then came the Voice of Class Act. So we was the Voice of Class Act, and as you say, it was a crew of us. It was probably about 10 of us actually, because we all had our little segment. Because you know what, Mr. Lee, kind of think about it. You were 10 to 12 because we was from 12 to 2 because you remember we was 2-hour show.
Right.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And so we all had our own little segment. And I just always loved Mr. Lee because, as he said, his show was very informative because I always listened to it on my way, on my drive in, just getting ready for our show. And then he would always end, "What a lovely day." I know
Yeah.
I can't sing, so, I
Yeah,
better
yeah.
stop right there.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So it was just always nice to have Mr. Lee. And so to have you now co-hosting with me is just like, we back home now.
There you go.
So like I said, I did miss you all summer. My summer, it was, it went very fast. That's first of all. You're so happy to see the summer because it's more daylight, warmer weather, things that you look forward to doing. So I had a great summer as well. For the most part, I'm writing a book. Yes, yes. So from April until now, which would be this Saturday, the 30th, would be the launch of the book, and it's called Women of Influence. So it's an anthology with me and 9 other women, and I'm excited for us. I'm excited. So just writing and editing and writing all summer. But in between that, also just had time to enjoy myself. I did a walk for the cause, so just training a lot. So yeah, just training in my walking. So it was fun. I look forward to it. But walking is always better in the fall. So things that you look forward to about fall. What is some things you look forward to about fall?
Probably as much as anything is the actual change in the weather. I like chilly weather.
Okay.
Not cold, but just enough that you can feel it. I'm not a big walker. I'm a swimmer, but I don't do a lot of walking. But that's probably the main thing about the fall weather that I enjoy the most is the chill in the air. Next is the eating. It just seems like something different happens with the menu. It
Yes.
seems to be more of it, or I don't know. It tastes better. I'm not sure what it is.
And keep you warm.
Yeah.
Yeah, heavier
Yeah.
food. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then it's the slow, gradual build up to the holidays, the
yes.
planning, the prep, all of those kinds of things. This shift from outdoor to indoor. I don't know that I actually planned for it, but I know that it happens where it's darker earlier, and it's not as much to do because a combination of darker earlier and changing the weather. But being a football fan falls right on time for me.
Yes, yes. And so that's what I was going to say. For walking, is definitely great to do it in the spring and the fall for me. So when it gets too hot, I have to walk on my treadmill in the inside. When it gets too cold, I have to walk on the treadmill in the inside or do, some
Right.
exercise. So
Yeah.
you got to work out inside. So I was looking forward to it all last week. Oh, Mr. Lee, I was out there getting it in. And this week I was like, oh, it was so rainy here. So had to kind of be in the house a little bit. But that's fine, doing my workout in the house. So for me, I definitely look forward to the nice weather, being able to walk in the weather. And then, of course, as you said, the darkness, it get dark early. But fall is a nice way to build up. To the holidays. But before then, fall also is a nice time for dressing, fashion.
Okay.
I look forward to the fashion because, you can, it's a combination blend of, your summer clothes versus your winter clothes. So then you can wear them clothes right in the middle. Can start wearing the light jacket, showing off, we hat person. We can start, wearing hats, build up, different kind of hats when it's fall.
Right.
Composed to when it's winter.
Yes.
So I love doing that as well, So I love showing off my fashion,
Okay.
the winter, fall, winter fashion. Summertime for me it's all about light clothes and trying to stay cool.
Yes.
So I wear more sundresses and when I'm working out, just leggings all the time. But,
Right.
The fall, it allows you like now, got on a little turtleneck, it's nice and wet and rainy. So little turtleneck, but
There you
still can
go.
give up a little something on,
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little something.
Right.
So I look forward to that part. And then, as you say, Mr. Lee, cannot, not miss out talking about what? Football. So, for me, that is part of the part that has me joyful because, we'll be talking more about that in the next segment. But, seeing sometimes getting dark early, it does have that, just that reflection on people to make us be like more downer a little bit.
Yes.
But for me, I try to, compound it by saying, I got my football though.
Okay.
I got my
But
football.
let me tell you this real quick before I forget it.
Yeah.
Making the transition, one of the things that happened to me that I want you to really seriously give some thought to.
Okay.
I had a friend of mine introduce me back into hand dancing.
Yes.
Hadn't done it in years, but I went to the VFW on Suitland Road, somewhere out there.
Oh yeah. So you out my way,
Yeah,
Yeah.
went out there one Sunday evening, and let me just describe to you what it was like to be in a room of maybe 150 people in my age.
Yes.
Everybody was as warm and as
What?
friendly as you could possibly
16
imagine.
years old.
Hmm?
16 years old.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. That age.
Yeah.
Okay.
She didn't say 16, she said 60. But I had a really nice time. It kind of made me go back to when I used to do it on a regular basis. But that's a wonderful form of exercise.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I found out that I hadn't forgot how to do it.
Oh, wow. Oh,
Hey.
so you know what? One day on the happy hour, we gonna have to, kind of work these skills of our engineer for they can keep up with me and you. You gonna have to show me a move too, other than hand dance.
I got it.
Okay.
Brought it with me this evening.
All right. I like that. You brought it with you this evening. See, that's why I love Mr. Lee. He bring the joy to the room.
Absolutely.
So yeah, and and that is true because I was just also sharing with my cousin who's here from North Carolina. Hi, Frida. And so I was just saying that I probably need to look up a dance class. I like, because I did take dance class in the fall and winter.
Okay.
And it helps keep you in shape, during the winter months, when it's too cold to go outside. So I used to take up dance class on Monday and Tuesday. So I took up modern dance on Monday and then, contemporary jazz on Tuesday. So, but to your point, right beside us, on Monday was the hand dancing class. Yes, with the young folks.
Okay.
Your age.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and I used to always be peeping over there. So, and then Tuesday was the line dance. They teach you all the line dance on Tuesday. So Monday was hand dancing and Tuesday was the line dancing.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you know how to line dance?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So you can show me hand dancing and I'll show you a line dance. How
Sound
about
like
that?
a plan.
Oh, we about to turn it up
Get
in
it,
here.
get it.
It's about to be turned up. And what you say about that?
Yeah. So let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, and then we can talk about some sports and look at the game together. So
Right.
who's your team?
Yeah. Absolutely.
So who's your
Absolutely.
team?
All right. Yeah. Before we go on break, let me remind everybody.
You're not gonna tell me who your team?
Oh, I don't have a team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't. I just enjoy the game.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't make any difference to me who wins or loses. I just like to watch it.
Okay, so since you don't have a team and since I'm your girl, then just go ahead on the root for Dallas, okay?
Oh.
See? But if you don't have a team, why? And you got on our team color, why are you doing that?
I just knew with all this purple, I just knew you was gonna say Baltimore. But I was wrong. So if I need to root for Dallas to be with you, this is on the air too. Oh Lord. All right, come on, Cowboys.
Oh yes. I got it on record. I'm going to always play this back for him, okay? Because that's how we roll, right, Mr.
Yes,
Lee?
indeed.
Okay,
Absolutely.
I'm sorry for interrupting you. So what were you going to say?
I was just going to remind everybody, if you've not heard, that part of tonight's show, we're going to talk a combination of suicide prevention, especially in our community, and mental health. I want some discussion about how do we understand that? How do we recognize it? What is it that you think prevents us from doing something about it sooner? What are the kinds of things that happens to us? And well, let me just tell you one of the warning signs, especially in the fall and winter,
Yes.
is I don't want to be bothered. I'm okay. Leave me alone. Those are red flags that something is going on with somebody emotionally. So we're going to get to that and stay mindful of any questions and issues you might have. Write them down. Find somebody to talk to, not to be right or wrong or good or bad, but just simply to get the idea of being able to talk out loud and see if that won't do something both for you and to you. Yeah, we're going to get to that. All right.
Yeah, we are going to get to that. It's funny that you say that because we definitely want to make sure that, coming back, our first show going into, like you said, the fall season. And some people, it's just a natural thing with them, when they start to see that daylight is not lasting as long.
Right.
It's just a natural move that come over them,
Yes.
And I think we all feel it at some point. And it's just some people it's more extreme than others, because even you think about it like, oh, it's getting darker early, and then you think about the cold weather then that's coming with that as well later on. So, so for some people it really is a hard thing and a struggle. So, and definitely we want to end the month since this is September. This is National Suicide Prevention Month. So, yeah, we're going to dab into that once we come back on the second half. But, In the meantime, I don't want you to run away from my football team.
Oh,
Yeah, I think they're
I-
gonna do some good things this year. So what
Well,
team?
wait a
what
minute,
team
wait a minute,
look
wait a minute.
good to you?
can
so
can
far?
you talk a little bit about what happened the last game y'all played?
The last game we played, it's obvious. You know, the other team, just capitalized off our mistakes. That's all it was.
That's all it was.
Yeah. We just made a few mistakes, one too many. And, they capitalized off of it pretty good. But it wasn't nothing like, they blew us out or something like that.
Oh.
Unlike, the other team,
Oh,
they
okay.
almost had a shutout. Finally, they got a field goal, right at the last minute. In the fourth quarter, but we stand on Dallas, right? We weren't talking about that other team,
Right.
Yeah, because that other team, they love when when they lose and we lose too. So that's the only part I did not like about the Sunday game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the other team lost too.
Yeah, that's
The
what I'm
local one.
Yeah. They
yeah.
lost real bad. That's what I'm
Yes,
saying. They
yeah.
barely didn't get on board. I was praying for a shutout, so
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't have been praying for that, huh?
Wait a minute. Dallas lost.
Mm-hmm.
Commanders lost. Giants lost.
And Philly is the only one in the division that won.
Huh.
They won again last night. So I hear.
So come on, Dallas.
I don't know if you really believe that or not. So you know what? I'm gonna let you off the hook because it's time for us to go to that first commercial break. Before you sit up here, hurt yourself. I don't want you to hurt yourself cheering so hard for my team. Okay, how about that?
Sound like a plan.
It sound like a plan.
Yeah.
Hurry up and go to break.
Please.
All right, you heard it here first on Badass Us. We'll be right back with you here on Vision or Purpose Media Productions. See you on the other side.
Badass us. Yeah, that's right. That's who we are. Badass us. What? Who are we? We are women. Beautiful, accomplished, and divine. That's right. Badass us. Yeah. Who are we? We are gentlemen. Are our brothers accomplished and determined? Yet, as society see us, we must still change the narrative. Yeah, that's right. Who are we? The black community. Remember us? We are accomplished. We are determined. We are divine. We are of greatness. That's right. The black community. Badass us. Who are we? That's right. Who am I? I am the person committed to building the next community movement. What about you?
Well, good evening and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Badass Productions with a sidebar of Lee's Happy Hour. And again, ladies and gentlemen, I am happy to bring you conversation, information, and my partner, Karen
Cowboy Jones.
Ke- Ke- Ke-
You would need your water.
Cowboy Jones. I got it out. All right, let's shift gears and get to. Excuse me, my hearing aid is giving me problems. But we're gonna spend this portion of the show examining and talking about some of the issues that I don't think get enough attention. We're gonna start with what is called suicide prevention. And that's a term and a phrase that I'd ask you to give some thought. Well, what exactly does that mean? Suicide prevention. Suicide, in and of itself, talks about somebody that is so emotionally troubled that he or she would take their own life regardless of their age. Suicide. It's not homicide. Nobody kills when you kill yourself. Prevention is the idea of having some recognition early where you might be able to intervene and keep it from happening. And this is Suicide Prevention Month. Is it September or October or
September.
September?
Yes.
Okay, so we're closing the month out. This time next week it'll be October. Yeah, this time next month. But in the meantime, not only do we want to talk about it, but we want to roll it into our family mental health. And again, families in just bloodline, but it's our neighbors, it's our extended family, it's our coworkers, it's the people we know we're somewhat concerned about but don't know what to do. So let's start with what suicide prevention brings up what for you, Karen?
Well, suicide prevention means having a discussion.
Okay.
What we're doing now, because it's been so tabooed for so many years, and especially like in the Black community. Anything with mental health or having suicidal thoughts or have to be hospitalized because of your depression or your suicide attempt, we make people feel ashamed. We make them feel embarrassed. And I think the first part for me, prevention start with having a conversation and giving that person a safe haven space to be able to be honest, because the only way we're going to learn patterns and habits of that is talking to the people is willing to open up and tell us and explain to us what's going on at the time.
Okay.
But if we keep shaming them and making them feel embarrassed or ashamed to talk about it, then I think the having conversation, giving them a space, a safe haven space to begin to talk and talk about it is what can be part of the prevention.
Okay, but having said that, how do we identify who might be in trouble? What are the warning signs? What are the red flags that would have any of us concerned that suicide might be a consideration, might be an option? What do we know, or how well do we know family, friends, co-workers, neighbors? And that was part of my point about, well, if we're talking prevention.
Isolation, the person when they starting to go, like you said, into isolation, closing themselves off, not being around family and friends, not wanting to come out as much, just want to stay home, sleeping a lot.
Okay.
So yes, you are so right. We have to know the warning signs, and knowing this is, like you said, just talking to the person and have, being able to have these discussions and talking to the doctors who put all the great information out there for us as well. Yeah. So, what you think are some of the warning signs?
If we're talking about prevention, then in an effort to maybe make a difference prevention-wise, we need to, I think, arm ourselves with what would we be looking for, all right? A lot of us, let me tell it, are not real clear about understanding the depth and breadth of depression, and that is a really big part of what is called or what is thought to be suicide. These people, just kind of think about, if you will, the people that you've heard about, the entertainers. When we started talking, I thought about Robin Williams.
Yes.
All right. Now here's somebody that is rich, successful, I can't imagine anybody's life being any better, but he was carrying something in him, and that's part of what it is that we're talking about in terms of prevention. What is it that his family and friends missed? What could they or what should they have been looking for to put them on notice that he was in emotional trouble? Because I think suicide means that your life is so painful to you that you convince yourself that death is better. I think that's what I think. That's how I think I understand suicide. Is a person's life is so emotionally painful that they can't intellectually think that there's a way out, and they convince themselves that not only would they be better off dead, but their family would be better off
without
not
them.
having them to suffer kind of thing. All right. So let's just for a few minutes here, let's kick around depression, how you understand it, how do you recognize it, what are some of the warning signs or the red flags?
Yeah, so before I go into that, you happen to mention one of my favorite actors. You know, I was big on Mark and Mindy, 99 on size box. You don't know nothing about that. So anyway, that's for the Mark and Mindy fans out there.
Back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day. Nano size box. So yes, but the flip side to that is I just want to bring up with Robin Williams and also Twitch in the now generation. Twitch just have lost his life to suicide. This was earlier this year.
Who?
Twitch. He was a dancer, entertainer, actor. He was a sidekick to Alan on the show with Alan. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that just happened this year, and with Robin Williams, it was so shocking, and with Twitch because they was the flip side of what we get ready to get into about depression. Sometimes they can be the happy, jolly people.
Yes.
Because they were all the time. So they did like we saying now, the traditional warning signs that we are talking about, like isolation, like that wasn't their case. In some cases, you can find that person who has this, happy, bubbly, joyful personality, but still inside, like you say, is so much pain in the inside.
Yeah.
So, so that can be the tricky ones, at times too, because they not showing, like I said, the traditional signs that we are used to looking for, because they, but sometimes now with Twitch passing, I heard a couple of psychiatrists weighing in on it, and sometimes they say that's it too, when someone is overly happy, overly anxious,
in the manic state.
Yeah, so that's the manic state. Yeah, so that's, you can look for it, because it's the same thing. He was just on all the social media platforms saying how much he loved his family, just celebrating the anniversary and all these things, and then, that it's happened, and even with Robin Williams, but I don't know if it's true or not, so don't quote, but they were saying that he had just found out that he had, a terminal illness. So, but, this is what we have to do, though, is start with the conversation.
Yeah, let's talk about it. The idea isn't to solve it or to fix it. It's to be open about how much we don't know, how much we are afraid of, embarrassed by, don't know the answers to, but still open dialogue.
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
Manic state, that is when everything appears better than ever.
Yes.
All right? You're energetic, you're on top of your game, everything appears to be okay.
Yes.
Is there a history that establishes a pattern of behavior that maybe we're not paying enough attention to in terms of prevention? I'm all this time of year. It's not as much sunlight. Mood changes. I don't feel like it. I don't want to be bothered. Leave me alone. The idea to me isn't to overreact, but it's to, what you keep saying. Let's talk about it, as opposed to let's go along with it. Maybe if we talk about it, it could be the inspiration to get somebody to be a little more open about what's troubling them. All right. Let me just include this. And today is Tuesday. By Friday, the government is getting ready to put everybody in to put all of us in a manic state about shutting down. I don't know if they understand what that does to people.
Yeah.
That I'm
stress, high stress.
I'm going to make you unemployed by no fault of your own. But these people that, I have to be careful with my words. One of them almost slipped. The people that we've elected to provide services from the taxes that we pay can't get along. And as regular everyday citizens, we have to suffer. And look what the suffering can do for a lot of us in terms of suicide. You know, so worried, so depressed, so ashamed
Yeah.
that I don't want my woman to know that I'm hurting inside. Very common among men with our egos and arrogance and our mindset of responsibility. I'm supposed to be the man of the house. I'm supposed to be the provider, and it hurts me when I can't do that. All right? So that's all a part of recognizing, let's talk about it. Not solve it or fix it, but let's talk about it.
Have the conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how does it fit and flow in a relationship? What do you think? How could you be helpful to your significant other, family member, whomever it might be that you're concerned about? Not necessarily suicide, but you see a change in their behavior.
Yeah, so basically you have to have a conversation. I'm just going to be real and transparent, and I think this what, like I said, putting the information out there, this will happen. Just prime example, when my husband found out that he had cancer, stage 4 lung cancer. We know it's only 5 stages, right? So when you hear stage 4 lung cancer, they pretty much telling you you're on your way out.
Right.
And so the first thing to do that I knew I had to do was what? Put us in therapy.
Okay.
Give him a safe haven place, and especially for black males, because one psychiatrist, we did a documentary on this as well, had mentioned that men period is a lower percentage of men who would go and seek therapy, but the percentage of black males was just like 2%
Yep.
or less.
Yes.
So one thing, I did not want my husband to feel shame, embarrassed, that hey, because it's better, and I always say it's better out than in. And so that was the first thing I knew to do, and keep us in therapy and make a happy space for him.
Okay.
And that was continuing our routine, even through all the treatments, doctor's appointment, and everything. We still had to do routine
Okay.
and still plan life and still have life.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I know that helped a lot. Now, in the midst of all that, he's still going to have his days
Yes.
of depression,
Right.
of not feeling the best, not wanting to put on a happy face for me or anybody, and I allow him to have that space, but I didn't let him stay there,
Okay.
because, I don't know how that feel knowing that you're going to die. So in that space, I have to understand, like, sometimes when he just needed that time, to just woo-saw and be in his moment.
Right.
But my job was not to let him stay
Okay.
in that moment. If that answer your question some.
Well, not only did it answer mine, I'm hoping that you all are following what it's like and how you can be more helpful as opposed to be more scared and not knowing what to do. Helpful. Maybe Karen just said something you hadn't thought about. They get there, but I'm going to inspire and motivate so they don't stay there. All right? These are the kinds of things that, well, I don't want to be bothered. Well, leave him alone. Yeah, but you don't leave him there. You give him his space, and even if you got to time it, say, well, okay, babe, it's time to look at television, take a walk, let's take a shower, do something, stay
Yes.
engaged,
Yep.
and help them work through it,
Yes.
whatever the it might be.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. So because he was just a workout person, so we made sure that we still played our tennis 2 and 3 times a week.
Oh, wow.
He still jogged 5 miles every 5 days a week. He still did his 5 miles jogging.
Really?
Yes, and I wanted him to keep that routine. So a lot of times he was like, I thought you said Greg had cancer. So some
Yeah.
people didn't think he was sick just because, we made
Routine.
sure. Yes,
Okay.
we made sure we kept that routine up. He still went jogging. He still wanted to play his tennis. He was teaching me how to play.
Okay.
Because he was a semi-pro, so he was teaching me how to play. So we still did all that. We still went on vacation. We still did everything. He even, now that was a little struggle. He even still drove himself to the doctor's appointment.
Okay.
You know, and
Yeah.
I let him.
Yeah.
Until I just said, you know what, it's time for me to start driving. I would be with him, but it you know, and for that, I didn't want to baby him and pity him, you know. So when he was determined, no, I can drive, I let him.
Okay. Very, very briefly, what about the family and friends? What do you remember their role being in you educating them or informing them what they could do to be supportive?
And basically, with the family and friends, you know, we definitely have to be supportive. Just check in, even with the family, made sure that we started still have family dinner. So once a month on Sundays, we still have family dinner. And I think that's true. And then just flipping the script a little bit about even want to talk about my sister, because, you know, mental health running my family so dear. Each generation we have it deep in our family, and so in my immediate family it was my sister. So she was bipolar manic depressor, and so I learned her trigger points.
Okay.
You know, so
Yeah.
I kind of knew, like the holidays, Mother's Day, because she missed my mom. So I always made sure she was never alone on Mother's Day. She was always going to be with me, and I planned things for us on
Okay.
Mother's Day. You know, the holidays, I can't cook a lick. I'm not good at cooking. I just know a few things. So, but just to make her happy, I learned how to do my mom candy yams, because she was known for her candy yams during the
Okay.
holidays.
All right.
And so that cheered her up. You
Yeah.
gonna make me some candy yams? I was like, yes. So the holidays, I made sure I made her own candy yams, because everybody wanted me to make it for the family, because my in-laws came over.
Right.
But Dee had to have her own pan where she could have candy yams all week. So, you know, so I knew what to do for her, and I knew where her trigger points was, and I didn't allow her to be by herself.
There you go.
know, so, and that's what you have to do. You know, and I was going to her doctor's appointment with her too. You know, when it was time to go to her doctor's appointment, we just got to be more involved.
Okay. And I'm hoping you all are following this about how you stay involved. Don't say that you love us if you're not going to engage with us when we're struggling. See, the struggle is when we need to love most.
Yes.
Struggle is when we need your attention most.
Yes.
And ladies and gentlemen, everybody has the same amount of time. Each of us has a different set of priorities. There's no such thing as you ain't got time. What you're really saying is I got other things that are more important. And we're talking about prevention, the kinds of ways to show kindness to those that need kindness.
Yes.
They don't need advice. They
Yes.
need kindness. They need to know that you care because of what you do.
Yes.
That's the difference that we can make in somebody else's life.
Yes.
That's the difference. That's what Karen just said. Let me tell you what I did, not what I thought, not what I heard, but what I did to make a difference. And that's what prevention, that's what support, that's what's encouraging is really all about, is what you do.
Yes.
All right?
Yes. And even when that person's to say that they okay,
Yeah.
you know, you gotta know just to do it anyway. And I used to hear that all the time with my husband. Well, he say he okay, he don't need it. Well, still come by, and
Yes.
they used to have to tell the siblings, still come by anyways.
Yes.
Of course, he gonna say that. That's just a natural thing. Sometimes
Right.
I think, especially with men, that's what they're gonna do or say. You know, but you know, you still have to check on that person anyway. So this was great, but you know, gotta always take that station break, right?
Yep.
So we are in great conversation here on Badass Us. We'll be right back at you. See you on the other side. Yes.
Key that you mind your mental health.
Hey guys, how's everyone doing this week? Hi.
Use the 5 keys to mental
Well, this week
movement.
has been a really monumental week for me. I realized that I was not being myself.
Reaching out.
Be positive attitude person self, like you guys know me to be. I was
Staying
listening to
upbeat.
teaching and get back to that happy, cheery self of me.
This week's been kind of
Being
stressful
creative.
because of all of the workload that we have on online learning. So I've been trying to use different platforms and different websites to help ease my mind and ease my stress.
And what about you, Margaret?
Well, you guys know me. I just love to work with others and serve them.
Serving others.
Is that when I serve others, my mind is off of myself.
That's right. And don't forget, self-care is key.
Self-care.
All right. So see you guys next week.
Right.
Bye.
Your mind matters.
Welcome back, everyone, to Badass Us. Yes, that's right. That's who we are, Badass Us, here on Vision and Purpose Media Productions. And if you have not been in tune with us, and the ones who have, we have had great conversations. You know, this is our third season, the first day starting back up our third season with Mr. Lee's Happy Hour. I'm just so happy to, you know, be a part of this. We just share great things about how summer was and, you know, what we look forward to the fall. And, you know, and then also just want to recognize that this is Suicide Prevention Month. Just wanted to give hopefully some great information on the last segment. But as you know, with Badass Us, we have to end in our inspirational moment. And so our inspirational moment now is going to look like influencer. And I know when we hear that word influencer, we always think about a person who's very popular, out doing things, but we talking about being an influencer in the eyes of God. That is a whole different another level, Mr. Lee. And I am learning for myself. That's what's so important to me is doing what God purpose is for my life now. At that point and at that stage and age in my life that I know that's what I need to be doing. So everything that I do and everything that I am is because of.
No doubt about it.
Yeah, so, you know, it's very important to me. So, you know, going a little bit into the book, so he had placed on my heart to do this book, and it's called The Women of Influence. So I am just grateful to be able to say on Saturday we'll be launching that. And what do the Women of Influence, what do that look like? What do it stand for? The Women of Influence is about a woman, how she used her influence on family, how she used her influence on business, how she used her influence on community, how she used her influence on health, and how she used her influence on faith. You know, and which is definitely the first and foremost. With all 10 of the women, all 10 of us that's in the book, I think that's the biggest thing. You know, the common denomination that bring all us together is, first of all, most important is our faith. So it's nice to do a book such as this, and it's a perfect time and calling for it. And what we as Women of Influence also, the main thing is that we would not be still in the position, of course, without our faith, but without man. So we not the Women of Influence is bashing. We the women of influence, they're saying that we honor you all, we appreciate you, we respect you, and we know that we only now able to show our strength and be in this moment because we still respect and understand that you can do nothing alone, nothing. That, and God wouldn't have it that way. That's why He created.
There you go. So,
and right?
This Saturday from what time to what time?
Oh, look at him. Thank you. Help me with that plug. So, yeah, selfish plug. Yes, I must plug. So, it's this Saturday, the 30th, and which happened to be my mother's birthday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so happy heavenly birthday. So it's this Saturday, the 30th, and it's going to be from 2 to 4:30. If you're interested in coming and you want to know more about it, you can go to our website, visit us on the website, www.v as in vision and A-N-D, P as in purpose, media productions with an S on the end.com. Also, you can just look us up on Eventbrite. We are there. It's free. The admission is free, and of course we will have books for sales. Our books are $24.99, and we are just excited. And also we're going to be showing a little documentary as well. So we're going to be showing the documentary on the journey. Us, from April up until now.
Okay.
The women coming together, us first meeting, discussing what it looked like, how we're going to start our chapters, what we're going to write on. You know, it's going to be nice. It's going to be different because, you know, most book launches is just about the book, reading, signing, autograph, but we got some treats in store.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Did y'all catch that? Saturday, 2 to 4:30. Come and the documentary is the history of the book, not just a book. You get to meet the main author as well as the other people.
Yes, all the co-authors or contributor writers, as we call them. And our Ford actually is a delegate here in Maryland, and she's actually going to have something up in Annapolis for us. So hopefully, you know, Saturday we'll be able to announce that date when we'll be also in Annapolis with our delegate, Jocelyn Pennant Melick. So I am blessed to have her as our forward. And the other contributing authors, they from all over. So we want to show that, you know, what I always say, community is what? Everywhere. So the women is a collective of women from the Maryland area. We have California, we are Florida, Mississippi, and Pennsylvania.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So for the most part, I think we all going to be together except for one. The one from Mississippi cannot be with us.
Okay.
You know, she was planning on, but due to family emergency, she's not going to be able to be with us. So our prayers are still with you, Melinda, and Will. We love you so much, and we still be talking about you on Saturday the 30th.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And the documentary is what, 8 minutes, 6 minutes?
You're going to have to show up to see. But what I will say, I will end on this. Friday, Mr. Lee, we did have a documentary release here of surviving life. Now, that was on suicide.
Okay.
Suicide prevention. And that documentary was 49 minutes. So it was really, we just wanted to do a sneak preview. It was a private invite.
Okay.
And yeah, it was really good. We had a nice packed house. It was good. So I just only can say God is good.
Absolutely.
God is good all the time. Yes.
One last thing, the address. For those who maybe have not been here before, but are planning to come, Saturday, 2 to 4:30 at...
Yes, and it's going to be at 1441 McComet Drive, and that is Upper Marlboro, Maryland, 20774. And actually, we're going to be in Suite 1030 because this is 1040 where the studio is. So we got a nice crowd coming out, so we're going to go into our event space here at 1441. So that is going to be on Suite 1030, and that is around the back. So Suite 1030, but 1441 McComet Drive, Upper Marlboro, Maryland. So that's where we'll be.
For those of you that'll be coming for the first time, when you pull up in here, you come all the way down.
And go around. And yes, and before you get out that last driveway, it's right there.
Okay.
Yeah, Suite, 1030. So yeah, so you're gonna know where to come, right, Mr.
Absolutely.
Lee? You hanging out with us on
Absolutely.
Saturday? Yeah. So what is you know, because you have a wife and you have a daughter. So what do influence in godly eyes? And I know that your household is definitely spiritually based as well. So what do the women of influence look like in your family?
Well, I've been fortunate enough and blessed enough to be raised by both my mother and my grandmother, and they were church women, clearly believing in God.
Yes.
And early in my life, ladies and gentlemen, I did not understand what that meant, but I learned how to say it. But as I've grown, the circumstances in my life has changed my belief and my view on things. So when I talk to my youngins, that's what I call my children sometimes, then I remind them what a blessing feels like, what it looks like, what it sounds like, so they don't think, or hopefully they won't think, that they're just here. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you ever think about how many people that didn't wake up this morning.
Amen.
And the God that we talk about is the God that
Amen.
let us wake up
Yes,
this
yes,
morning.
Yes.
And that's what I
Amen.
kind of want everybody to have some idea about what a blessing is.
Yes.
Not an accident, not luck, but a
No.
blessing.
Yes.
So I kind of want to share that idea with you,
Mm.
and those that might be joining us this morning.
Yes.
Stay focused on the one that has all power, and
Yes.
he's decided he wants to share that power with us.
Yes.
All right?
And I like that you said that. And it's again, I gotta just say on air, I have my lovely cousin here with me from North Carolina. I'm originally from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, so she's been here for a week with me because she had to work on my actual book signing week. So it was very important to have her here this week because there's so much to do. So she seen me do all the ripping and running, and then she was here to see the documentary release on Friday and the
Okay.
magazine release. So yeah, that was great. And it's so funny, just said that today. I said, because we had a blessing, and I said, I'm not calling it luck because it was a blessing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, and
Yeah.
I'm glad that you just gave us confirmation because God is just unique in that way that he would give you confirmation. You just gave me confirmation because I literally just said that today.
Yeah.
It's not luck.
No.
It is a blessing.
Yeah.
And life is not a given. It's a blessing.
It's a gift.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. So, Mr. Lee, as always, all good things must come to an end,
We
right?
done it again.
Bam. That's how we do it around here. Yeah, boy. Yeah, so if you want to see Mr. Lee and Karen back again on Lee's Happy Hour, you just got to stay tuned every Tuesday because you never know. It may not just only be the fourth Tuesday of the month.
That's right.
Yes, how about that? So, yeah, I like that. I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you never know what happened this season. You're just going to have to stay tuned every Tuesday and just find out. But for now, we thank you, we bless you, and as we always say, continue to see your vision while living the purpose. And God bless. Bye-bye.